Hi, this is Carl Glasman. I'm with the online Zeta cohort, and this is my response to EDOL 722, The Dangers of Single Story video. Looking at the video that we were assigned, I on one hand could relate, but on the other hand could not relate. Obviously I'm not African American. I'm not African, so I really don't understand everything that she went through. So, and how could I? But what I chose to kind of talk about in this video is how it was for me growing up. So I grew up in a very, very wealthy household. My grandparents were extremely wealthy. They helped support me when I was younger, helped support my mom. And then my mom remarried and married an individual who was a top executive for a very large corporation. Did very well for himself. In his own right, was very, very wealthy. Grew up in a northwest suburb of Chicago that was very, very affluent, and that is really all I knew. At 11 years old, my stepdad was reassigned to a different location, and we moved from the Chicago area to a small town in northwest Ohio. And it was a culture shock to me, definitely. Went from only seeing, the affluent lifestyle to going to a town of 16,000 people where there were only a few executives to a couple of corporations there. So the wealthy were few. The middle class were few. It was mainly just middle management for these corporations. And then there was, the vast majority was lower class, lower socioeconomic class. And it was a culture shock to me. I hadn't been around it, hadn't seen it. I didn't associate with anybody other than people like me until then. Fortunately, I was quick to make friends and really kind of was forced into that environment to understand it a lot quicker. I struggled, obviously, at first, but I did learn a lot from my friends. It's kind of weird because where I came from, everybody had a car, everybody had several cars, everybody had a home, everybody had vacation homes. We traveled to Europe all the time. We had specific places where we went every year in Europe. I got new clothes every year for school. Got clothes whenever I wanted them. We always had food, and I had not seen anything other than that until I had moved to Ohio. And some of my friends just couldn't live that way. And it was a shock. It really made me reevaluate what I knew, even at such a young age. I continued to live in kind of my cocoon, my bubble, even though I was around these other people until I was about 22. And then I realized that, well, great, I had a lot of things. There was some things that I was missing, and one of those was self-discipline. So I decided I needed to break from that lifestyle and do something on my own. So I kind of walked away from at least a financial affiliation with my family and decided to join the military and go out and make it on my own. And it was a rude awakening, obviously, not having the financial support. Not that I didn't have it, but not wanting to take it. So it was kind of a rude awakening for me, and it took me some time to adjust, but it really made me understand more and actually get closer, to those people I went to school with from the age of 11 on. And it was just, something different, not something that when I was a little kid ever thought I would see. Never knew what any of that was about. And it's kind of interesting when you think about that, we're raised up in these environments where we're not exposed to specific things or certain things. And it's only until later in life that we ever do get any exposure to it and even begin to understand it, if we do at all, So it's just kind of interesting. Thank you.